What's good, YouTube? KnewNeverYou here today with another box opening. Well, technically, it's a structure deck opening, but we finally got that Trishula structure deck. I guess it's an ice barrier structure deck. Mine got delayed because of the ice storm. How convenient. But let's pop that Molly trash. Well, they changed the little thing here, so that's pretty cool, but it's still trash. Little mat. People say they should do rubber mats, but I'm glad they don't because that means the structure decks would be more expensive. And these are all some key cards in the deck, and then some cards that you can use from different sets that help crack down. Yeah, sure. And the Ancherera, the Reverer, the Eye Barrier. All right, y'all know the deal. My arch nemesis on opening these things. Let's find. There she is. Yeah. I got a woman. It's wrapped in some plastic that I don't want to mess up. Oh yeah. Oh man. The delicacy you need to open up these boxes. All right. I don't think any, man. This stuff is all garbage. All right. Without further ado, Revealer of the Ice Barrier. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, your opponent cannot tribute summon. Whoa. What? You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. You can discard one card, special summon one Ice Barrier tuner from the deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for water monsters. If you would discard or send cards from your hand to the graveyard to activate the Ice Barrier monster's effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead of one of those. God, whoa! She nasty. She nasty. While you control another, speaker for the ice barriers. You know, speaker of the house. She out here talking. And so both of those are level 4, so that's, oh my god, that's Bahamut Shark and go to Treat Toad, or Totally Awesome. While you control another ice barrier monster, defense position monsters your opponent control cannot change their power positions. You can only use each of the following effects of Speaker of the Ice Barrier once per turn. If you control an ice barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control an ice barrier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon one ice barrier token. Level 1, 0. That is kind of nasty considering if there's ever a format where we go into where Swords of Concealing Light is like a huge thing and you do this and you got Speaker and Revealer out, they can't tribute summon those face down monsters, and those face down monsters can't change their battle position because of this. So you got them in a lock by essentially they can't link. They could ritual and they could fusion, but I mean that's disgusting. Zujin of the Ice Barrier. Level 2. You contribute this card, special summon one level 5 or lower or higher Ice Barrier monster from your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can target one level 3 or higher water monster you control, reduce its level by 2. And if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, good, totally awesome target. Special summon this card by reducing a monster by 2. Was it Ice Barrier monster? Oh, no, I'm sorry, a water monster. So, let's say you got let's say you got 2 of these out for whatever reason. Boom, target her, reduce it by 2, special summon him, overlay for Totally Awesome, main phase, throws away for a frog, So you got a negate. I mean, this deck is nasty for water decks, period. Like, I mean, Marincess, like it covers the whole not like this deck is disgusting for water monsters. Ugh. Anyway, wins over the ice barrier. Tribute any number of ice barrier monsters, special summon from your deck. That many level 4 or lower ice barrier monsters with different names from each other. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your ice barrier monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Whew. Okay. Alright, the new Trishula. Trishula Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier. I think it's a level 9, 10? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Well, what? I don't got something right now. One tuner, 2 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summon, you can banish up to 3 cards your opponent controls. If this synchro summon card is in your owner, if in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, that means either battle, card effect, etc. You can special summon one Trish from your extra deck or graveyard. It attacks becomes 33. Then half the attack of all face-up monsters your opponent controls also negates their effects. So, essentially, you summon him, banish 3 problematic cards or 3 things that you think may be problematic that are face down potentially. Even if they activate them, they still get banished. So if it's something that's recurable like Paleozoic cards, they don't get those effects that whenever you activate a trap card, special summon it as a monster. So those are banished. And anything else that's like recurable when it hits the grave, like virtual world cards that are out. I mean, like it's so many different things that this does. And then if it gets popped by any card your opponent controls, you summon out Trish 33, and then it makes Trish essentially a Dark Ruler No More / Forbidden Droplet. Or you could just say Dark Ruler No More / Lost Wind. I mean, this card is bananas, bonkers, donkety bonk. DeLorean, everyone should know what this does. If they don't, I'll keep it here for about 3 more seconds so you can read it, so you can pause it. Brionac, or Brionic, however you want to say it. Gungnir. I want to get some secrets of these and DeLorean. Or DeLorean. Gungnir. The original Trishula. General Wayne is new, so I'll read his effect. Spells and traps sent from the field to your opponent's graveyard are banished instead. You can only use the following effects of this guy once per turn. If your opponent controls a monster and you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special, you can add 1 Ice Barrier spell or trap from your from your deck, yeah. Then this chick is, or thing, whatever, is new. While you control another, Hexa, Spirit of the Ice Barrier. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. During your main phase, you can send 1 level 3 or lower Ice Barrier monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you do, this card level becomes the same as that monster until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. It's a level 1 Sea Serpent, and it's a tuner, so that's good to facilitate a lot of things. We got Blizzard, Defender of the Ice Barrier. I have secrets of these. Cryomancer of the Ice Barrier. I have secrets of this. Prior of the Ice Barrier. I think I have supers. Defender of the Ice Barrier. I have super of that. Warlock is a super in the Hidden Arsenal. Not Hidden Arsenal. I forgot what it is. Is it Hidden Arsenal? 1 through 7? I think it is. Strategist of the Ice Barrier. Dance Princess of the Ice Barrier. I have hollows of all the old ones, so I'm good on that. Dai Sojo, General Royal, medium. This card is good. As a person that strategizes, or I would say I'm a tactician when it comes to spellcasters and fairies. This card is really ridiculous because it's a spellcaster with 2200. I think it's level 7. If your opponent controls 4 or more cards than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent can only activate one spell or trap each turn. So if you happen to play this in like Witchcrafters or something, and you have Secret Village of the Spellcasters out, that means if they don't have a spellcaster, they can only activate one trap. And depending on what that trap is, like, there's ways for spellcasters to negate the traps. And if they don't have a spellcaster out and you have that field spell, they can't activate spells. So let's say they activate a spell card, a trap card, and you have Right Hand of the Magician, I think, negates traps. That's it. That's it. And with the Revealer, they can't tribute summon. With the other chick, the Speaker, they can't move the position of defense mon. Like this, like the synergy for this deck is just nasty, and I don't think a lot of people realize how good these cards are. But they probably will once they get hit with them. Dupe Frog, Ronin Tonin, Fishborg Launcher, Moonliglecia, Silent Angler, Freezing Chains of the Ice Barriers is a new card. I wish this would have been like a super or something, but that just means it'll be like a OTS super or something. It's a continuous spell. When this card is activated, you can target one level 4 or lower Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard. Special summon it while you control 3 or more Ice Barrier monsters. Ice Barrier monsters you control are unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck. So, like, if it would have said water monsters, it would have been great. But I mean, it's an Ice Barrier deck, and all of them are water anyway. So I mean, you could easily mix this in with I forgot what it is. It's a continuous spell card that all water monsters can't be killed by battle. So I mean, and then they got some great reprints. Look at Salvage. Target 2 monsters with 1500 or less attack in your graveyard, add them to your hand. 2 water monsters. Surface. Where art thou? Porno of the Red Lotus. Finish Chains, I think is good, but I think this is Eyes Bond, Mind Drain, Heavy Storm Duster, Crackdown, and their last new trap, Terror of Trishula. It's a normal trap. Apply these effects in sequence depending on the number of Ice Barrier Synchro monsters you control with different names. 1+, banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. 2+, banish 1 card from your opponent's. I'm sorry. First one was banish 1 card your opponent controls. 2+ is banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. 3+ is banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets an Ice Barrier Synchro monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Negate that effect, and you can only use this. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So this is basically becomes Trishula when he synchro summons. So if you can somehow get 3 and you can have like 2 of these on the field, I mean, that's, you synchro for Trish, activate this, Trish again, basically on their turn, Trish again, and if they try to do something that targets an Ice Barrier Synchro monster like Imperm, Mind Control, anything like that, Dragoon doesn't target. Just anything that targets. You have protection from the grave, so that's potentially if you play 3 of these, that's potentially 12 banished cards. And I mean, this deck is nasty. That's all I'm gonna say. This deck, This is worth $30 to pick up a playset of. If you can find this and you don't even want to play ice barriers, there's some good water support cards in here. So my advice, if you can get this $10 or lower, pick it up. I bought 3 of them myself, and I'm probably always gonna buy 3 of every structure deck just because you never know what's gonna come in and out. And I'd rather have a common so I don't have to buy a hollow than, it works. It makes sense. But yeah, more content to come on Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I'm downsizing on how much I buy, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna buy any at all. Just taking a break from spending all the money just to lose the stuff that's way too expensive for me to just go out and buy. I mean, I could, but it's kind of pointless. Anyway, this is KnewNeverYou with the ice barriers and my Sailor Moon mat. And if you didn't know, Sailor Moon do.